Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage and the Austin Princess once again. I just ordered some fittings and some pipes and some different kind of stuff, and they just arrived today, and I cannot wait to try to see if my plan for fixing the suspension system on this will work. What I'm going to do is to change the entire pipe system on this, at least until the last rubber hose. I will most likely change that later on, but it's good enough for now. I'm going to do it in copper lines, 12mm copper lines all the way with compression fittings. I have bought a lot of different stuff that I hope to be able to put together and make a system that will work. The suspension in this car is supposed to be pumped to 350 psi, and the copper tubing is more than enough for that. It's not the soft kind of copper pipe that I have chosen, it's the semi-hard ones that is still possible to bend, but are a lot stronger than the other type. And I think it's rated at around 55 bars or something like that. So that should be plenty enough, I think. But let's try. So here we have a lot of stuff that I'm going to try to make work. I bought a lot of stuff, as you can see, that I didn't have already. It's not the most expensive stuff, but if this doesn't work, then of course it would be a bit of a pain. It's nice tools to have for the future as well. What I have really been struggling with is this on the old pipe, where this valve is fitted that you can pump the system up with, the Schrader kind of valve. I couldn't take this off, or maybe I could, and then I could solder it in, but I don't really know how to solder just yet, so I don't trust that to be strong enough for 350 psi. But then I found this, that is compression fittings on both sides, like that. And then this one, that's 1/2 inch, I think. I would like to have found one with a 1/8, I think it's called, inch thread, but I couldn't. But I could find this, that connects into this, like that. And then the Schrader valve fits into this, like that. So it's maybe not going to be the best looking repair because it will be a lot of different sizes of stuff, but on the other hand, this looks like something homemade as well, so it's okay for me at least. But what I'm going to try first is to fit this. This is the one that goes onto the suspension unit via this one. This one is attached to the suspension unit, and then this with the pipe is attached like this. And as you can see, this got a flange that the pipe needs to fit on. So I'm gonna attempt to make that flange right now. And then let's see if we can widen up the pipe to make that flange. Whoops. I was just trying to find the old pipe. This is how it looked, and this is how I got it to look. Oh, that's good enough. That will work, I think. So then I will have to try to redo this shape slightly, and then I'm gonna cut it right here because we're gonna put that split connector on and then make another pipe that goes underneath that connects to this one. So let's try to bend it. Then let's try, hey, the Peugeot 106. Then let's try to bend it down to 90 degrees or thereabout. Something like that. It's working all right. It's kinking slightly, but it's not closing completely. But I don't think I should bend any more than this. And then that sounded awesome. And then let's see how that works. Yeah, that could work. I'm pretty much doing this in freehand at the moment. I haven't made any plans for it on how to do it, but I got a lot of pipes, so if it doesn't work, then I can just redo it and fix my mistakes. Then to clean up the edges, I'm using this. And then I can fit that compression joint. Yeah, that ring goes onto here, and then it's just inserted into the joint, and then this compression ring will force this ring into here, forcing it to compress onto the piping, and therefore making a quite strong joint, I hope. But I think it's a good idea to make it rather tight. I think that should be good enough. And then the valve should just be fitted into here. Like that. So that's the first part of the piping ready to go. And then let's try to fit this part of it. I'm not going to tighten it all up right now because I might have to alter the positioning a little bit, so it will just be loosely connected. I will go ahead and make the same on the other side and then continue on underneath. So now I have also made the other side, the small pipe from that, and now I'm going to make a pipe coming from those two connectors and down underneath the car, and then I will make another joint right here because it will be way too difficult for me to use one piece of pipe from all the way up there and back to the rear. Also, the pipes are not long enough for that, so that's one thing. And another thing is it would be so much easier to just stop the bend, stop this piece of pipe right here, then make one long pipe to the rear, and then the last connection where it goes above the rear axle, I will do that in a section as well. So each pipe will need 3 compression joints, which is a bit much, but well, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't really matter how many or how few compression joints there is. So it will be okay. It will just be a little bit less clean, but it will be a lot easier to work on in the future if you will have to take something apart. So that is what I'm gonna do. And actually, I already started to make this piece that goes from the right suspension unit or compression joint and down underneath where I pointed out right before. So I'm gonna fit this and then take you back. So there we go. I think at least one side is completed now. As you can see, the pipes comes down there and have a connection right there, and on the other side right there, and then it goes down to the rear on both sides. And then back here we have another connection. Yeah, I didn't have a straight one. I only had 90 degrees, but it worked out. And then it goes over the axle and into the suspension unit. And this was extremely fiddly to get in. So there is no chance to make this in one piece without removing a lot of stuff. So even though I would like to have it a bit more simple and without so many connections, this is the way to go. At least when doing it like this. I'm just gonna do the other side as well, and then it's ready to at least attempt to pump it up and see if it holds pressure. Voila, there we go. Both pipes are now connected, and it's time to lower down this car and try to pump it up. And it's not looking perfect, and I still need to make some clamps to hold it on. There is a couple of them still working up there, but down here they have rusted off, so I need to make some. But that will be at a later stage. I would also like to change the fuel line and so on. So let's lower it and try to pump it. Oh, it's gonna be so exciting. I just wanted to show you the result up here. It's actually looking a lot nicer than I thought it would. Comparing this to the original setup is yeah, I don't know which I prefer, but I don't think this is bad. And remember, there's a big air filter up here, so you won't be able to actually see it. But it's looking pretty good. But it's not really the look that I'm worried about. It's more, does it work? I'm going to try to pump up this side to begin with. I don't think I have enough hydroelastic fluid to pump it up completely. Remember, all fluid is out of this system, so I think it's going to take quite a lot. And I think I have a couple of liters, but let's try. I'm really excited. And I really hope it works. That could be so nice. I'm having one leak already. Just gonna check that. Yeah, I just forgot to tighten up this joint, so no biggie. So I might only have fluid for one side right now because it's using up a lot. Just because safety, maybe it's a good idea to have some glasses on in case something bursts. Don't want this stuff in my eye. We are at 200 psi now, 150 psi to go. It is rising up. Yeah, 60.5. It's working. We seem to have a small leak. I actually found a leak. I'm draining the system right now. I think the adapter, which the valve is screwed into, needs some of this packing Teflon tape kind of stuff to make it leak free. I was unsure about that, but I'm going to try that and see if it works. Here it is. I've taken it off. I think this thread right here needs some of that packing tape. I hope that will work. It looked to be the only place that the system was leaking from at 300 psi. And that is really a good sign. This could end up being a repair that works. Okay, so let's try to pump it up one more time. I have just decided only to pump up this side because I don't have enough fluid to do both sides, and it feels silly to pump it out of one system to pump it into another. So I'm going to pump this to, and I think that's possible with the amount I have, to 350 psi. I'm not going to bother measuring and all that because it will settle a little bit. Then I will adjust it later. And then I will pump up the other side when I get that in the next video, most likely. Because if this side works, then I see no reason why the other side shouldn't as well. And it should only be small leaks and stuff that I have just fixed on this side, maybe, hopefully. So let's try to pump it up one more time. It takes a while when it's completely empty. Let's speed up the time. Oh, it's rising up now. Quickly. I'd say that's 350 psi. Tough. And it's up in the air. So the bottle is empty and one side is now filled with a pressure of 350 psi or thereabout. I don't have enough fluid to test the other side, so I'm not going to do that today. But I see no reason why it shouldn't work on the other side unless some of the components are damaged, of course. That is a possibility, but I doubt it, actually. And it's not leaking. I had that little leak from right there because I didn't use that tape. After putting the tape in, the leak has stopped, and that is really nice. And the pressure is just staying on. And yeah, I was actually getting used to the look of the sleek, very low Princess, so I have to get used to this. But having a suspension is so nice. I can't wait to actually feel how it feels. So this is a really big progress for this car, a really big one. Remember, the engine is running all rightish. I need to do some carb tweaking. And the brakes are actually also working okay. Of course, I need to go over them and check that everything is fine. But this car is actually really close to being roadworthy. Of course, there is a lot of cosmetic stuff that I need to address, but it is actually becoming a car again. And there is some suspension as well. It's going to be exciting to see if the suspension is rock hard, because it's a possibility, because the Hydrogas unit could have lost all the nitrogen gas, and that would make it very hard. The guy I bought it from told me it was very soft back in 2019. So maybe it's all right. I hope it is. But I'm looking forward to actually seeing how it works. Remember, this is interconnected. So when this tire hits a bump, the pressure will rise in the suspension unit. That will force a lot of fluid down the pipes and to the rear, and pressing the rear tire down. So when this one is popped upwards, the rear one will go down, making the car sail over the bump instead of doing the normal motion. So that is going to be fun to try. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. It's a big success. It's a shame that I do not have enough hydroelastic fluid to actually pump up both sides. Part of me wanted to wait until I get that to release the video, but I can't wait. I really would like to get it out there that this repair seems to work at least. I'm really happy about that. Nothing has exploded so far. And thank you to all of you guys who have commented and made a lot of suggestions on how to fix this and what to watch out for and all that. Also to the guy who told me that I was using the wrong wrenches. I know that. I don't have the inch wrenches, and I'm getting those. At the moment I'm using the adjustable, and that's not a very good thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Remember, you can support my projects on Patreon. There's a link underneath the video. And thanks to all of you who are already doing that. And yeah, see you in the next one.